Good afternoon. In the name of God, the Compassionate, the Merciful, I will make a brief and clear statement. On 28 February 2026, the United States, in full coordination with Israel, launched a second deliberate and unprovoked military attack against the Islamic Republic of Iran. This was a calculated act of aggression Major cities and densely populated civilian areas were targeted. Hundreds of innocent civilians lost their lives, many more were wounded. This is a flagrant violation of the Charter of the United Nations, especially Article 2, Paragraph 4, which strictly prohibits the threat or use of force against the sovereignty and territorial integrity of any state. It is a direct assault on the foundations of international law. The Security Council convened an emergency meeting on Saturday. The facts were clear. The aggression was clear. The responsibility also was clear. In a reckless and unprecedented escalation, the United States and Israel deliberately targeted the supreme leader of Islamic Republic of Iran and many high military officials. Targeting the highest official of a sovereign UN member state is an egregious breach of international law and a direct attack on sovereign equality. Such conduct endangers the entire international system. The United States and the Israeli regime are deliberately targeting civilians and civilian infrastructure. The schools, hospitals, Red Crescent facilities, and residential buildings were attacked. On the first day of the aggression, the girls' school in Minab, a small town in Hormozgan province in southern Iran, was deliberately destroyed. As a result, 165 innocent school girls were martyred. I repeat it, 165 school girls martyred. Their bodies were recovered from a rubble after hours of rescue efforts. On the same day, similar attacks martyred several hundred students in other cities, including eastern Tehran and Abyek in Gazvin province. But just this afternoon, the ambassador of the Israeli regime from this very podium resorted to lies and fabrications, shamelessly denying and ignoring the crimes committed by this regime against children and innocent civilians in Iran. Yesterday, further strike targeted Red Crescent building, Motahari, Gandhi, and Khatam hospitals in Tehran, Abu Zaz hospitals in Ahvaz, 3 emergency checkpoints in Sarab, Chabahar, and Hamadan, as well as residential building in northern Tehran. This morning, missiles struck a densely populated residential area in Sanandaj in Kurdistan province. The full number of casualties is still being verified. These acts constitute aggression. They constitute war crimes. They constitute crimes against humanity. The United States cannot remain silent. The United Nations cannot remain silent. Accountability is not optional. It is deeply shameful and hypocritical that only the very first day of its presidency of the Security Council, the United States convened a high-level meeting on protecting children, technology, and education in armed conflict under the agenda item maintenance of international peace and security, while at the same time launching missile strikes against Iranian cities and bombing schools and killing children. For the United States, protecting children and maintaining international peace and security clearly mean something very different from the UN Charter provides. Words about peace and protection cannot cover acts of aggression. Let's make no mistake, there was no imminent threat from Iran. Our nuclear program is exclusively peaceful. We were engaged in serious diplomatic negotiations. For the second time, the United States chose force over diplomacy and violated the Charter. There are no legal grounds that justify this attack. The so-called preemptive attack has no basis in international law. The prohibition on the use of force is absolute, except in self-defense against an armed attack. Iran is exercising its inherent right to self-defense under Article 51 of the Charter. Our response is lawful, necessary, and proportionate. We target only the military objectives of the hostile forces. We don't target civilians. We don't target the interest of neighboring states. Under international law, every state has a duty not to allow its territory to be used for act of aggression against another state. Member states must exercise due diligence to prevent their territory from being used by foreign forces to attack other countries. Iran does not seek war. Iran does not seek escalation, but Iran will not surrender its sovereignty. The issue before the international community is clear. Can a powerful state attack another sovereign member of the United Nations with impunity? If the answer is yes, then the Charter is meaningless. If the answer is no, then this aggression must be condemned and stopped. Double standard will destroy the credibility of this Council. Silence will embolden further lawlessness. As long as aggression continues, Iran will defend itself decisively and without hesitation. The Security Council must act firmly, clearly, and without ambiguity. I thank you for your kind attention.
What was the rationale behind attacking other countries, including Iraq, the UAE, Qatar, and some other countries, Iraqi Kurdistan as well?
As I mentioned, we are not attacking the interests of our neighboring countries. We are defending ourselves. We are targeting the facilities and the bases and the assets of the United States in this country, in those countries which is out of the control of the host countries.
How do you explain the rest of it? One more question.
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, ABC.